Let me ask you a question that might make you uncomfortable. Have you ever thanked your pain? I'm serious. Think about the moment that nearly broke you, the betrayal, the heartbreak, the failure, the loss. That moment you were on the floor, breathless, questioning everything. Have you ever looked back and said, thank you? Most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid pain. But what if I told you that pain, that very thing you run from, that keeps you awake at night, that makes your heart ache, what if that is the most honest, most powerful, most transformational teacher you will ever have? Listen to me, you don't grow in the sunshine, you grow in the storms. The deepest roots are not grown in gentle soil. They are grown through resistance, through pressure, through adversity. The moments that crush you are the ones that craft you. And if you're sitting there right now thinking your life is a mess, that you've lost too much, hurt too deeply, fallen too far, I want to tell you something you need to tattoo on your heart. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your invitation to rise. Do you hear me? You've been looking at your pain all wrong. You've been taught to numb it, to distract yourself, to pretend it's not there. But what if the thing you've been avoiding is actually the key to everything you've ever wanted? See, the people who master their lives are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who took their pain and instead of asking, why me, they asked, what is this here to teach me? That single shift. That one change in question transforms your identity. It turns you from a victim into a warrior, from passive into powerful, from stuck into unstoppable, and I want you to feel this in your bones. Not just understand it intellectually, but own it emotionally. Because the second you begin to see your pain as a lesson instead of a punishment, your whole life begins to shift. You don't need to wait until the pain disappears to start living again. You don't need closure or a guarantee or someone to apologize to you. You just need to stop running, face it, lean into it, because that pain is carving you. It's not destroying you, it's refining you. And I know you're thinking, but Tony, you don't know what I've been through. You're right. I don't, but I do know something about pain, and I do know this. Pain never shows up in your life without a purpose. There's something it's trying to birth inside of you, and most people get stuck because they resist the very process that's meant to elevate them. Let me tell you a story. A man walks into a dojo and asks the master, how long will it take me to be a black belt if I train hard every day? The master looks at him and says, 10 years. The man says, what if I train twice as hard, double the hours, no breaks? The master says, 20 years. The man is confused. Why would it take longer? And the master says, because with one eye on the goal, you only have one eye left for the path. Pain is the path, not the goal, but the road to strength is paved with trials. And the people who grow into their greatness are the ones who walk the path with both eyes wide open. They don't shortcut the suffering, they learn from it, they don't numb themselves, they feel fully, process deeply, and emerge fiercely. So the question isn't how to avoid the pain. The question is, are you willing to let it teach you? Are you willing to bleed so you can rebuild stronger? Because I'll tell you this, the strongest people I know are not the ones who never hurt. They're the ones who never quit. They're the ones who got back up when everything inside of them screamed to stay down. They're the ones who forgave when they had every reason to hate. They're the ones who found purpose in the ashes of their suffering. And if you're hurting right now, good, it means you're alive, it means you still care. It means there's something inside you that wants more, that ache in your chest, that sting in your gut. That's not weakness. That's power waiting to be claimed, but most people run. They put on a fake smile, post perfect photos, pretend everything is okay, and you know what that creates: numbness, emptiness, a life half-lived. But you're here right now, listening. That means something in you is ready to stop pretending and start transforming. And I want to speak directly to the part of you that feels broken, the part that's tired of being strong, the part that just wants relief. I see you, and I'm not here to give you pity. I'm here to give you power, because here's the truth: your pain is not unique, but your response to it is, and that's where your greatness lies. Not in avoiding life's battles, but in meeting them head on and saying, this will not break me, this will build me. So I want to ask you, what has your pain been trying to teach you? What have you been running from that's actually trying to show you your power? What story have you been telling yourself about your past, about your worth, about your future? That pain is inviting you to rewrite. That's where the transformation begins. You see, pain doesn't come into your life to paralyze you. It comes to awaken you. Pain is not a wall, it's a mirror. It reflects the parts of you that still need your attention, your growth, your courage. It shows you where you've been settling. It reveals where you've been holding back. It doesn't whisper, it screams, wake up, there's more for you than this. But most people, they ignore it, they medicate it, distract it, scroll it away, watch it into silence, but you can't mute pain without muting purpose. You can't selectively numb your suffering without numbing your soul. That ache you feel, that restlessness, that silent rage, it's trying to break through the layers of your conditioned comfort. It's trying to call you back to who you were meant to become. And some of you, I know you've been through hell, abuse, loss, rejection, trauma, and you're still standing. But surviving is not the same as transforming. Don't just carry your wounds, learn from them. Don't just wear your scars, honor them. Don't just go through the fire, let it forge you. There is wisdom in your wounds, there is revelation in your rejection, there is clarity in your collapse. You just have to stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what is this making of me? That's the shift. That's the gear change. That's the point where victims become victors and survivors become creators. Because if pain is going to come anyway, and trust me, it will, why not choose to use it? Why not take that pain and turn it into power? Take that betrayal and turn it into a boundary? Take that loss and turn it into legacy? Because when you make pain your teacher, it stops being your tormentor. When you sit at its feet instead of fleeing from its grip, you begin to see, it wasn't here to destroy you. It was here to develop you. Let me tell you something radical. You are not meant to be comfortable. You're meant to be courageous. Growth does not live in safety. It lives in risk, in vulnerability, in staring down the dragons of your doubt and saying, I'm not afraid to feel this. I'm not afraid to learn from this. I'm not afraid to rise through this. And you know what? You will be tempted to go back to the numbness, back to the familiar, back to blaming and hiding and waiting for someone to rescue you, but no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to do the work for you. And that is your power. That is your liberation. When you realize that you're healing, your growth, your breakthrough, it's all inside of you. Nobody gets out of this life pain-free, but only a few choose to get something out of the pain. And those few, they're the ones who move mountains, who build legacies, who lead with impact, because they stopped avoiding the furnace and stepped into it, not to get burned, but to get branded by truth. I remember coaching a man who had lost everything, a business, a marriage, his health. He was shattered, and in that moment, all he could see was loss. But I looked him in the eye and said, this isn't the end, this is the beginning of the real you, the you who stops pretending, the you who stops performing, the you who finally feels enough pain to stop tolerating mediocrity. And he did. He took that pain and he rebuilt, not the same business, not the same marriage, a whole new identity. He used the lessons, he faced the truth, and now he's more fulfilled than he ever dreamed possible. Not because he avoided suffering, but because he learned how to turn suffering into strength. You can do that too, but it's a choice every day, a choice to stop negotiating with your potential, a choice to stop waiting until life is perfect to begin, a choice to take every ounce of pain you've ever experienced and squeeze purpose out of it. Juice it until there's nothing left but fuel, and don't you dare think your pain makes you less worthy. Your pain is not a stain, it's a symbol. It means you've lived, you've loved, you've risked. It means life hit you and you hit back. Stop hiding your story. The very thing you think disqualifies you is what qualifies you to lead. Your pain makes you relatable. It makes you real. People don't connect with your perfections. They connect with your scars. So stop covering them up. Let them shine. Let them speak. Because someone out there is going through what you went through, and they need your voice, your courage, your testimony. But you can't help them if you're still ashamed of your journey. You can't lead them if you're still avoiding your own lessons. Make the pain your teacher. Let it teach you patience. Let it teach you empathy. Let it teach you who's real in your life and who's not. Let it teach you to slow down, to pay attention, to love deeper, to trust your gut. Let it teach you how resilient you truly are. You're not fragile. You're not broken beyond repair. You're not a victim of your past. You're a student of experience, and every painful moment was a classroom that gave you a choice to learn or to leave the lesson behind. What have you been resisting learning? Maybe it's how to set boundaries. Maybe it's how to forgive yourself. Maybe it's how to speak your truth. Maybe it's how to walk away from people who drain you. Whatever it is, your pain has been trying to teach you. Stop ignoring it. Stop numbing it. Stop blaming others for it, because the day you stop running from pain is the day you start running toward purpose. That's where real strength is born. Not in the absence of pain, but in the presence of power through it. And the most dangerous person in the room is not the one who's never lost. It's the one who has and came back stronger. The one who's been through hell and built a home inside their own soul. The one who doesn't flinch at storms anymore because they've become the storm. So what will you choose? Keep playing small, hiding from pain, pretending it's not affecting you? Or will you rise up, meet it head on, and let it forge a version of you so powerful, so grounded, so unshakable, that nothing and no one can stop you again? Let this be your awakening. Let this be your moment, the moment you stop asking for the pain to end and start asking how you can grow through it. The moment you stop being a prisoner of your past and become the architect of your future. You don't have to keep repeating the same cycles. You don't have to keep living in reaction to what hurt you. You don't have to keep playing out the same emotional script that someone else wrote for you. Rip up the script, write a new one, one where the pain didn't stop you. It launched you, one where the betrayal didn't make you bitter. It made you bold, one where the breakdown wasn't your collapse. It was your awakening. Every time you felt abandoned, you were being guided back to yourself. Every time you were overlooked, life was telling you to stop waiting for permission. Every time you felt like you were drowning, it was because you needed to learn how to breathe underwater, how to live through what should have destroyed you. The truth is, you never really know who you are until you go through some kind of pain that strips everything away. Pain removes your mask, it pulls off your armor, it takes away the lies you've been told about who you're supposed to be, and in that raw, exposed place, you finally meet the real you, the you that's been waiting underneath the noise. The you that's ready to rise, and maybe that's what this is all about. Maybe pain doesn't come to punish you. Maybe it comes to introduce you to the version of yourself that you couldn't meet any other way. The version of you that's powerful, authentic, fierce, grounded, and unstoppable, but you have to stop numbing out. You have to stop pretending you're okay when you're not. You have to stop trying to be strong by shutting down. That's not strength, that's fear, and you don't need more fear. You need more fire, and fire doesn't come from easy days. Fire comes from the moments that make you question everything, from the nights when you cried alone. From the mornings when you didn't want to get out of bed but did it anyway, from the pain that felt like it would never leave, and yet here you are, still breathing, still standing, still hungry. And I know some of you are thinking, Tony, I've been in pain for so long I don't even remember who I was before it. Good, because maybe that version of you had to go. Maybe the pain didn't just happen to you, it happened for you. To show you who you no longer need to be. The version of you that stayed quiet to keep others comfortable, gone. The version of you that kept settling because you were scared to be alone, done. The version of you that betrayed yourself just to be accepted, dead. The pain buried those old identities, and now it's time to resurrect the one who was always meant to lead. The one who doesn't need validation, who doesn't shrink, who doesn't run. Because the truth is, life will never stop throwing punches. But once you stop fearing pain, you start living with power. And when you walk into life knowing that nothing can destroy you, because you've already been to hell and back, nothing can stop you, you become the kind of person who doesn't just survive storms, you dance in the rain. You don't just endure pain, you alchemize it into progress. You don't just wait for healing, you become the healer. You take everything that was meant to break you and you use it as bricks to build your empire. That's what pain is here for, not to make you fragile, not to leave you wounded, not to define your worth, but to forge your foundation, to reveal your resilience, to ignite the parts of you that comfort never could. And you don't need a perfect plan, you don't need to have all the answers, you just need to decide right now that you're done letting pain own you, that you're done being ashamed of your scars, that you're done hiding your story because it's uncomfortable for someone else. Own your journey, claim your truth, speak your pain into power, because your story could be the manual for someone else's survival. Your scars could be someone else's map. Your breakthrough could be someone else's permission to believe again. But that only happens when you stop waiting to be pain-free and start living powerfully. Some of the most extraordinary people I've met in my life, the ones with unstoppable passion, purpose, and presence, are the ones who have suffered the most. Not because the pain made them special, but because they made a decision to learn from it, to rise above it, to give it meaning. You want to know what separates the people who win at life from the ones who stay stuck? It's not intelligence, it's not talent, it's not luck. It's what they do with their pain. They don't let it shrink them, they let it sharpen them. They don't let it silence them, they let it shape their voice. They don't let it define their destiny, they let it drive their evolution. And the best part is, you can make that decision right now. You can decide that nothing you've been through was wasted, that every ounce of pain was preparing you for this next season, that every heartbreak was breaking open your heart for deeper love, deeper clarity, deeper truth. But it starts with facing it, not with fear but with fire, not with shame but with strength. Look the pain in the eye and say, "Thank you, you woke me up. You taught me what nothing else could. You broke what needed to be broken, and now I'm becoming what I was born to be." That's what this is all about. This is not about avoiding the hard stuff. It's about transforming through it. This is not about pretending it never hurt. It's about deciding the hurt no longer has power over you. This is not about going around the pain, it's about going through it and coming out the other side more alive, more grounded, and more powerful than ever. This is how warriors are born, not in the silence of safety, but in the fire of pain.